1 dead, several injured in Sophia chopping incidents. A chopping incident which occurred in the wee hours of Sunday has left 1 man dead and several persons seriously injured. The incident occurred at Lot 120 to Block F North Sophia. Dead is Emmanuel Rose, 19, of Port Kaituma, Northwest District NWD, Region 1. Those injured are Kester Rose, 30, of Lot 120 to Block F North Sophia, his girlfriend Tiffany Edwards, 30, Shemar Jordan, 20, of Port Kaituma, NWD, Shindle Prophet father or the deceased, and Ezekiel Prophet brother of the deceased. Emmanuel, Kester, and Ezekiel are cousins. It is alleged that a grandparent of the cousins passed away about a month ago. Kester and his girlfriend lived in one of the 2 houses situated on the property, while Emmanuel lived in Port Kaituma. Sometime in July, Emmanuel came to North Sophia along with his friend Shemar Jordan, and they began living in the other house on the land. The Guyana Police Force GPF, in a statement, said that Jordan claimed that since he and Emmanuel started occupying the house, there have been constant problems between them and Kester. According to a police report on Saturday, August 17th, at about 20 to 30, Kester and his girlfriend were in their house when Emmanuel came and started to argue with Kester. They both end up in a scuffle, and it is alleged that Emmanuel destroyed Kester's bed along with other items in the house and went away. It was further stated that on Sunday, at about 1 o'clock, Jordan, along with Emmanuel, went home after attending a barbecue in Durban Backlands. On their arrival home, they observed their clothing burning in the front yard. He said they then confronted Kester, who was at the time in the company of an identifiable male, and asked him why he burnt their clothing. Kester then allegedly went into his house and returned with a long knife and a cutlass and dealt Jordan a lash to his neck. He said he, along with Emmanuel, ran out of the yard while Kester and his friend reportedly ran behind them. However, Jordan and Emmanuel managed to evade them, and they went to the Kitty police station, where they reported the matter, after which they went to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation GPHC, where he was treated by a doctor and sent away. Jordan further said that Emmanuel called his father, Shindle, who later showed up with his younger brother Ezekiel at Lot 120 to Block F North Sophia. Upon arrival, Shindle reportedly confronted Kester and asked him what the problem was between him and his son Emmanuel. Kester and the identifiable man then allegedly dealt with Shindle several chops about his body with a cutlass. A fight began, and the men began chopping each other, during which they all received injuries to their bodies. Emmanuel, Jordan, Ezekiel, and Shindle then left and went to the Woodlands Hospital where they were treated for their injuries. Emmanuel, Jordan, Ezekiel, and Shindle then went back to the house at around 5 o'clock, armed with cutlasses. Upon arrival, they broke and entered Kester and his girlfriend's home via a western door, went into their room, and began to chop them about their bodies, after which they made good of their escape on foot, heading north. Kester and his girlfriend were then picked up by public-spirited citizens and taken to the GPHC, where they were treated and admitted as patients in the emergency unit. Kester received multiple chop wounds to his leg, back, head, and hands, while Tiffany received 1 chop wound to her left hand. It was then disclosed that sometime later, Jordan, along with Emmanuel and Ezekiel, went back to the house to bathe and change their clothing. As they entered the yard, a large crowd, including men and women, ran after them and started throwing large stones at them. The men then ran into the house, and people ran in behind them and dealt Jordan a chop to his head and mouth. The crowd also chopped Emmanuel and his brother Ezekiel about their bodies. Jordan told police he managed to run out of the house and hid himself until the police and ambulance arrived at the scene. The ambulance was summoned and an EMT from the Central Fire Service responded. Ezekiel and Jordan were escorted to the GPHC, where they are currently receiving treatment under police guard. Emmanuel was pronounced dead at the scene. His body was found lying motionless under a step of the one-story wooden structure facing west with the head to the north and feet to the south. The body was carefully examined, and multiple injuries were observed to his back, hands, and head. A silver blade knife without a handle with what appeared to be blood stains was found at the back of the said yard about 20 feet away from the body. The body was escorted to the Memorial Garden Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Police said checks were made for suspects, but they were not located. Government CCTV cameras were seen in the area and are currently being viewed. The investigation is in progress.